Hi tribe, and welcome to this new video. This is the second episode from the series that I just started 1 week ago and is regarding the persons with disabilities, persons that they are using a wheelchair, persons that they are paralyzed from the waistband down but they can use their upper body and their hands, or persons that they are not paralyzed but they have difficulties with walking and they are using a wheelchair. So welcome to the second episode from Adaptive Blade Combat. For the ones that they are new to my channel and they are interested in this system, please visit first episode 1 from this series, Adaptive Blade Combat. Watch it to understand better the combat mindset behind the teachings that I am sharing with you. So guys, the first episode, it was more like an introduction to the Adaptive Blade Combat. I was wanted to share with you the combat mindset behind this system. I was discussing about different kind of blades, weak points and strong points of each of them. I was showing you different kind of concealed carry methods and also a drill that you can already implement in your training, from the appendix position carry, catching our t-shirt and liberating the space of the knife, coming in a reverse grip, ice pick grip with the thumb finger up like a stopper, taking my blade out and striking towards the target. This is only like a simple drill to understand the mechanics behind it. We were already discussing about the elements behind adaptive blade combat: awareness, being able to identify in time potential threats. Number 2, being able to deploy fast our blade under stress and pressure factors. Number 3, that is coming with number 4, striking fast, striking precise. And the last one, that basically is the most vulnerable element from all, it's moving, creating space between us and the aggressor or aggressors. In this episode, I will talk about the importance of being able to strike in different directions, changing the hands, because here it's a little bit more complicated, the situation. If I was able to use my legs and to twist very good my body, change my body position by using my legs, it was not so complicated. But because I am down, if I need, for example, I have my blade here and I need now to strike in a direction from an attacker that is at, in a diagonal of me, 8 o'clock, coming behind me, it's very, very hard to strike only with one hand if I'm practicing only with the right hand. And this is a very important element that we discuss, and I will repeat every time to you. It must not exist a weak hand. We will train with the both of them. Of course that the brain is made in such a way that it's split into hemispheres, right and left. And all the time we will be able to do some activities much better with one hand than another. The same with the feet. So I am not saying that you must be the same like efficiency, but you must know to use that blade with the both hands. And here it's applying not only to combat, it's applying also when we discuss about massive bleeding and applying a tourniquet. A tourniquet is a special medical equipment designed to stop massive bleeding. So if you are training all the time to make a self-application of the tourniquet only with one hand, and tomorrow you will be injured to that hand and you must apply a tourniquet with the other hand, you will not make it in time until to lose your conscience. So it's very important to understand these elements. So if I need to operate and to strike in that direction, it will be very complicated. But if I know to change my hands or to deploy my blade also with the other hand and strike from that position, it's much simple than trying to step from this direction, because even if I can twist my body from here, I don't have the power, I don't have the good stability of my body, because the legs are not helping me. So this is a vulnerable point when we talk about being in a wheelchair, and we must understand how important it is to be able to change our hands, to strike with the both hands, to deploy our weapon with the both hands, to apply a tourniquet or other kind of medical equipment with the both hands. Guys, at the beginning, if you don't have experience using the blades, please use a training knife, a rubber knife. Many knives are coming also with the trainers, so use that one, because we don't want to injure ourselves. We want to learn these skills until we master very good, and then you can change it with the real blade, of course, to operate and to make your drills. So very important, don't forget about this element. So we remind ourselves from the last time that I was showing you one type of deployment in which I am catching my shirt with one of the hands, catching it very good. Again, I repeat, when I memorize, when I'm learning this process, I'm putting my brain to focus on the mechanics, on how I'm clenching this fist, how I contract my muscles, my fingers to catch that shirt, because in this way I will have the correct strong grip. If you do it with the fingers and with the hand very, soft, without having power, it's possible under stress and pressure factors to lose the shirt and to have a fail in your deployment, and you don't want that. This is the reason why we must catch it very, very good. Then we deploy it in diagonal. I remind you why in diagonal, because it's very simple. If we need to operate our blade, I'm twisting from this direction to see better, and I am like this with the hand up. When I take my blade up, it's possible that it will get stuck in my shirt, and the same is if I have a fire weapon, it can block in the shirt. But like this, taking my blade, stretching on my body in diagonal, it's liberating perfectly my blade, and I can operate it without the risk to be blocked in my shirt. Another very good thing is after you take the blade out, already to twist the blade towards your target. Why we twist it towards the target? Because also if something is happening, for example, to be blocked, this movement, making this and only putting the hand in front, will liberate from that t-shirt. So even if I'm here, only making this movement, the shirt will fall down. Why I'm remaining blocked if the shirt is coming here? Because we try to continue our movement up. So this is blocked. But if immediately after I'm taking from the holster, from the sheath of the knife, I'm taking the knife and now it's catch with my shirt and only I make this movement, it will reduce this risk. But again, I repeat, if you make a correct deployment in diagonal, stretch on your body, then nothing will go wrong. So I have the blade here, and from here I can strike in the direction that I want the target. Now after we master this technique, we are practicing and practicing and practicing. We must, of course, pass to the next level in which we try to make also with the other hand. I remind you that here I'm showing you only like an example to see the movements, and I recommend at the beginning to make like this, but please find a trainer that is very similar to your blade, because one is to make with a rubber knife like here and one is to make with a blade from the sheath. This is only at the beginning, to take it step by step, to understand that we must not injure ourselves until we don't learn the good movements. Then of course you can pass to more advanced techniques. So what I'm doing, I'm making the same movement. If here it was catching in this diagonal, catching my knife, taking out, in the next movement I am doing the same, only that I'm catching with the other hand. I'm catching with the right hand, stretching my shirt or what you have, your hoodie, taking my blade out, or twisting towards my target, or not towards your target, because maybe sometimes your target it will be in lateral, but I'm trying to say towards in front, because this it will help if you make a little movement to, if it's catch, again I repeat, to exit from that obstacle that is the t-shirt. So if here it was like this, here is from the other direction, so it's the same idea. Very important, when I catch my shirt, I don't catch it, if I have the knife, look a little bit, if I have the knife here in the middle or in the lateral a little bit, I'm not catching my shirt from this position. Look where I have the knife, I'm not catching from here, because when I want to take it and stretch it, look where is going my hand, how much movement, how much passive movement and space I have here. It's requiring a longer distance, and my hand is in an awkward position and up to be able to liberate all that space. But by coming here near the knife and stretching here, it's very close to my knife. So I can take it very easy, but also this hand is right near me, trying to protect them to be here somewhere up. So very important to understand these movements. Again, if I take it with a strong hand and I use my left hand, I'm not taking from here, it's the same. Look at the distance. I am coming near the knife a little bit, passing the knife and then stretching, taking my blade out and be ready to use it. So these are little tips that they are very important to make economy of movements. Yeah, we don't need, I don't know what kind of movements to do, wild movements. We need to operate very fast near our blade in such a way that we don't have the risk of, I don't know, losing our blade, being too far with the hand. Imagine that if you have multiple aggressors, your body must be very compact and you must be with the hands near, so you can also protect. If there are punches, I'm referring, you can protect with your hand. Also, imagine that if it's a knife attack and you make this kind of movement, you let vulnerable a lot of places. If I deploy my blade with a strong hand and I'm making this movement here, for example, to take my shirt, all here, for example, we have the axillary artery, we have the left side of our body from where it can be accessed, our heart. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, between the ribs, intercostal spaces, if it has a good length of the blade, can insert it and stab your heart. So we don't let this side open, we don't let our axillary artery vulnerable. You can say, yeah, we have also the branchial. The branchial artery, it's also very similar, only that the branchial artery, it will be much easier if I have the time, of course, the knowledge and the tools to apply a tourniquet to stop that bleeding. But if I have it in the axillary artery, it's a junctional area and it's very sensitive. I cannot apply so up a tourniquet. I must make a wound packing and direct pressure to stop that bleeding until the special emergency medical operators are coming. So these are tips that we must understand from the beginning. So after we are mastering these movements, one hand, the other hand, taking my blade up, we are passing to the next drills to learn and to perform these things when one of our hand is injured. Imagine that you are not able to use your legs and now you have also one hand that you cannot use. So it will be more complicated. And we must prepare for that situation. It can be, you can be injured, stabbed, shot, I don't know, many things can happen and you will not be able to use that hand, and you must learn to deploy your blade using only one hand. And it's the same idea. I don't have this hand anymore to use it, I make all with the right hand, coming, taking the shirt in diagonal. I was showing you a little bit last time from it. After I'm stretching very good, I keep contact with my body and I'm coming towards my blade and take it out. Why I'm keeping contact with my body? Because if I'm making only this and now I let it down, especially if I have a more heavier, that has more weight, a cloth or I don't know, a hoodie or something else, and I'm making this and then I want to go, it will be immediately cover the knife. But like this, I'm stretching and coming in contact with my body, taking that blade out. The same if I need to operate it with the other hand. I'm catching, stretching, coming on my body, taking my blade out, and practicing this technique. So what I am doing, catch, stretch, going on my body, taking my blade out. After I'm going on my body, when you have a bigger, a more large shirt than this, I recommend also the next movement, stretching, coming with a shirt behind the handle of my knife, and then very easy I can take it. It's taking more time, but I have the, I don't know, the security that I will put that blade in the fight. Both hands, one hand. So basically it's the same concept, only that all the things I'm doing with one hand. In the other part the same, stretching, catching out, being ready to use. Longer short, stretching, passing, take my blade out, being ready to use. These are drills that you must master very good. Repeat and repeat and repeat until it's very fast and you are able to deploy that blade in the fight in time. Of course, we don't have a fight now. We only prepare our brain, we program our brain to be able to have a response if we need to operate that blade. So now we pass on deployment and striking. Last time I was showing you that you can catch your shirt, deploy your blade, and also deliver one strike depending where your target is. And here it's a very important topic, and I will have in the future 2 or 3 episodes regarding only the human body anatomy, and I will teach you where are the zones, shock zones that you can strike, so you can stop your target from his initial attack. Other places they can produce that but not stopping in that moment, and here a simple example are the arteries, the blood vessels, the most important blood vessels, where the blood is circulating with high pressure, and if you lacerate severe very fast, the target will lose the blood. That will lead to be unconscious, or 3-4 minutes, the quantity that is leading to the target to die. But that is not stopping him in that moment. He can continue for a limited amount of time his actions to stab me, to hit me. So this is very important to understand. There are other places like the eye, like the trachea, like the heart, like the kidneys that are known like shock zones, because they are producing a shock to the target and it will stop from the initial attack in that moment, in that particular moment. Nobody can fight if you stab with the blade inside the eye orbit, striking the eye, going in, passing to the cavernous sinus, or if you have a good length of the blade, passing to the skull. But now depends on the situation, because how you see my target, if I have a target, again I repeat this, I have near me, it's a very big target, my target's eyes are not very close to me. So it must be in a position that is permitting me to access that particular area. The trachea the same. The heart is a little bit more easy, like level I'm referring. So we must understand what tactics we must adopt to be able to access that particular striking zones. And now we must understand the idea of striking. So I can take my blade from here, striking straight. I can take the blade from here, striking in lateral, and if I want now, as I said at the beginning, to change my body position to striking in that direction, even if I can move from the upper body, from the waistband up, I cannot strike so good. So you must understand your limitation. If I have in a hammer grip, I can strike in front, I can strike a little bit much better in the lateral, but the same, not so good. And if I need to strike in the other direction, it's only by twisting my blade and thrusting in the lateral. So we must understand these things. The same, if I take it in the ice pick grip and I have a target that is coming from behind, because we must understand that this, being in a wheelchair, it's a vulnerability regarding the position and how fast you can move yourself. And if you have criminal individuals, again I repeat, they will use deceptive tactics to close the distance between them and you, and also they will come around you. They know that it's very hard that you move, and they will choose also the back, your back, like a very good strategy to immobilize you, to choke you, to strike you. So if I take it in a reverse grip and I want to strike in this direction, it's not so easy. It's not so I cannot do it. I must move my body a lot, and from here to strike. And here we will discuss about this. If I have it in a hammer grip, it's much better to strike here, but again, uncomfortable to strike in that direction. So for each type of movement, we must test it and see what is the limitation of that striking technique, of that movement. If we don't understand it, we will have the blade in the wrong grip, or I don't know, we will be in a wrong position and we don't know how to change our body position from here in an angle that I can access my target, and it will not help us a lot. So we must understand this. So in a reverse grip, I know that deploying my blade, striking in front, it's easy to do. Striking in lateral, where it's my strong hand on the side of the hand, if I have it in the left hand, striking in the lateral of the hand that is striking, it's very easy. Striking in the other part is more complicated. Maybe if I can move my body from the waistband, I can come a little bit twisting my body, but still it's very complicated. You must understand that you have a brutal, violent attack that is not permitting you all these movements. Yeah. So we must choose and we must find the right movements for the right angles. This is the reason why twisting and changing our hands, being able to change also your grips, it's very important when we talk about wheelchair. Yeah. If I was able to use my legs, if I was able to move very fast, to change very fast my body position, then it's not so important to change my grips, because I change the body with helping of my legs and I can thrust and step in all the directions that I want. But here I have limitations. So for your next training, you can already begin to implement the next drills. For the appendix position carry, using the reverse grip, ice pick grip, I have one deploying strike in front, one deploying striking lateral, one from here deploying, moving my body from the waistband, trying to go a little bit in diagonal, taking my blade, striking back. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, like the watch. So that are the directions in which you can strike very good if it's coming from behind. So 1 in front exercise, 2 in lateral, 3 moving my body, taking out, striking in diagonal. With the other hand, again, you repeat the same thing. 1 in front, 1 lateral, and 1, of course, changing your body position back. So these are the drills that you can already implement in your training using the ice pick grip in the appendix position. So for the situation that is coming from my back, diagonal, I was making the drill that I was showing you, taking my blade, letting my body a little bit, and from here I can access my target. Depends on the situation. If he's letting his level down, like coming to push, and his face is more down, I can take the blade, striking towards the face. Or if it's in a normal level, I can twist my body and access the femoral triangle or other parts that we will discuss at the anatomy class. But like an idea, this is the movement I am taking from here, twisting and letting from my body, and from here I'm striking. It's a fast strike, like a spring that is going towards the target. Identifying, striking. Identifying, striking. Identifying, striking. Identifying, striking. Identifying, strike. deploy, moving my body, strike. The same thing from this position with the left hand. I'm liberating my knife, twisting my body, letting a little bit in diagonal, twisting with from my body now, from the core body, striking. Depending again of the level of my target. If it's letting the level because it's coming to push me or to drag me, I can step towards the face. Of course, here I have a fixed target, too tall, and the level cannot come down in this moment, but you imagine the striking, going back, fast, moving from my body. If it's in a normal level, I can go to the femoral triangle, but the movement is the same. Standing in this position, liberating my knife, twisting my body, twisting and striking. If my target is coming from the lateral, catching my shirt, taking my blade out, striking in the lateral. Femoral triangle, face if it's coming more down, going to strike to intercept my blade to meet with his face. So 1, 2, strike. Strike. Now I exercise, this is the left hand. And this is a very important thing that you exercise with the both hands. Taking up, striking. So guys, these are already the drills that you can implement in your training. Again, I repeat, easy. Stretching, catching my shirt, liberating the space of the knife, catching the knife, thumb finger, take it out, straight stab. The second, catching my shirt, diagonal stretching, taking my blade, lateral strike. Then, last one on the back, catching my shirt, letting my body, taking my knife, striking in the diagonal position. Then, you change with the other hand, stretching, take it out, straight. Stretching, take it out, lateral. Stretching, letting your body back. So these are the drills that you can already start to practice, and not only, 2 times, 3 times. You must practice, you must sweat, you must work a lot. Yeah, it's not this kind of drills that you cannot master or program your brain to operate this under stress and pressure factors only by repeating 2 times on the week. No, you must invest a lot of time if you want really to increase your chances to survive in a real situation, but also to be able to protect others. We pass also to exercises that will help to increase your explosion in your movements, to be more faster. Because all the things that we are working here with a fixed mannequin or this standing on the position basically are drills that are helping us develop some attributes, programming our brain to perform a particular technique, increasing our fast movements, increasing the explosion in our movements, precision, and so on. So we pass after this to some exercise that will help you develop the right muscles that they are used for this movement, so you can be more fast in your movements and have more explosion. So the first exercise, you must have a support or a metal bar or something that is fixed, so you come with the resistant band on it. Then I come on my hand and put it 2 times, and then I can practice my technique. So basically, if I was having the lateral movement in which I was striking, catching my shirt, taking my blade, striking in the lateral, now I do the same thing but needing more explosion, and it's more harder because I must use more my muscles and my core body muscles in such a way that I'm making that movement. So I'm taking my blade, and now when I must make that strike, it's more harder movement to make in the lateral. So this kind of movement repetition and repetition will increase your explosion, and you will be much faster in your movements, because now you are training exactly the muscles that you need to perform that particular movement. It's a simple exercise, and if you are putting this at least 3 times in your training every week, it's a very, very good exercise in which you make deployment strike. When you strike, try all the time to be at a more higher level. You are forcing more and you are training better your muscles. Also, your target, it will not be at the normal level. Like, for example, you can, if for the persons that they are using their legs, the target is like very similar to the level, a little bit maybe more higher or more down. But at you, all the time, the target, it will be more tolerant, more higher level. So my strikes must be there, up, twisting my body, working, developing that muscles, and create a lot of explosion in my hand when I make these movements. The same after you change it with the other hand. Don't forget, guys, put the brakes all the time, because we don't need to have movement. We need to stay fixed and to work exactly the muscles that we need. The same, I can put this 2 times on my hand and work the same exercise, but now at the back. So it's not anymore in the lateral, it's back. Moving my body, taking my blade, how I was showing you, and then twisting and strike. And again, we have a drill in which we're learning to strike in a diagonal position to my back. And now we also have the exercise that will help in such a way that we train that particular muscles that you need for this kind of movement. For the front movement, you are doing the same. You are only twisting with the back to the support, coming near, putting the brakes, take this in your hand, catching very good, like this, taking your blade, and when I want to do the movements, I'm striking in front, front, front. So these kind of exercises will help you develop explosive movements, because if you think this is one of the elements that we need, you are in an ambush, you are already having a reaction to the action, so it will be more slower. You must deploy your blade. After deploying your blade, you must strike. So if that strike is not fast, is not precise, is not with explosion, having that fast explosion in the movements, it will be too late. This is the reason why we must train to develop these skills. Another drill that I want to give you for today, it's implementing also a kind of protection, of guard, before we deploy our weapons. Many times in the situation of an ambush, let's say we have multiple aggressors, and maybe one of them, even if somebody is also armed, or you see also a weapon involved, maybe the first one that is engaging you, it will be empty fists, with empty hands. So that initial attack, if you are going directly, if I don't have the space and the time, and I was not able to identify that particular signs of an ambush, and I have somebody exactly here near me starting the ambush, and I go directly, like starting to hit me with the punches, and I go directly on my blade without having the space, the time, then of course it's possible that I let my face open and I can take a punch, I can go KO. So this is the reason why there are situations and situations. When you are in a situation that is starting like empty-handed fight, you must adopt a cover, a protection that will protect you in that initial moment of the attack, so after you can deploy your weapon. In normal situation, you are making the cover and then you are creating striking counter-attack with 1-2 strikes, creating the space and the distance so you can deploy the blade. But because we are in a wheelchair, it's more complicated to do this. And when you don't have the brakes, if I don't have the brakes on the wheelchair and I am now under the attack, I am coming with punches to punch me, and I will create some cover. When I take that punches in my protection, that will make to my wheelchair to move back, because it's a force that is coming directly towards me. So that force, it will be the thing that I need, the space, in such a way that I can deploy that blade. Of course, it's not all the time so easy. Depends of what you have around you, obstacles, people, and so much things. But the main idea is that I am taking that cover, and that cover is formed with the both hands. It's not like in boxing, it's not like in other, I don't know what kind of combat sports, because in boxing, for example, when you think, you have also the gloves. So when you put your hands near your chin to protect your chin, you have also the gloves, big gloves, that is taking more part of your face, covering more. But in reality, taking only a simple guard will not give you so much defense, especially that you don't have the possibility to move on your feet and to change position, body position. You can make only here something. So what you are doing, you are using the both hands to catch that initial attack, so you are not knocked out. You are going with one hand up, going back, protecting, coming with the elbow in front, in such a way that all the strikes that they are coming are facing and can hit the elbow, and the elbow, it's the hardest bone. It can break your knuckles if you are putting it very good. So you come with the elbow straight, the other hand is coming up, covering, letting a little bit from your vision. I'm putting my head inside, and in such a way I'm covering the best positions where the aggressor can strike me. My chin, I cover from direct strikes, from hooks, from uppercuts, but especially that I have a lower level, it's very hard. The majority of the strikes will come from up, down, or from laterally, because of my position. Yeah. So I'm covering my head, putting also the palm. This palm is coming on the back in such a way that I have somebody that is coming from behind or striking from the lateral to protect the back of my skull, the back of the spine, the neck. I am putting it here, protecting and entering in this position in such a way that I defend myself for that initial attack. Hard punches, if you are making this kind of protection, immediately it will protect you for that initial strikes. It's not the idea to remain there. You cannot stay there I don't know how much time, because the next move it will be to drag you down from the wheelchair, and when you are down, stepping on you, kicking you with the legs and so on. So the main idea is that the first strikes that they are coming, because I was not able to identify an attack, I can take it immediately. I can take that shock, the first initial movements, and then because of the force, how I was saying to you, because it's the same. I am with a wheelchair here, and imagine a punch. I will push with my leg now to understand. Imagine a punch that is coming with power, not like this. It's pushing you immediately back. So that punch and this protection will push me a little bit back in such a way that is the space that I needed to deploy my blade. After deploying the blade, of course, the things are changing, and this we'll discuss in other episodes. But basically what I want you to understand, that you can make a transition from a cover, I cover myself, protect, moving in this time because of the force, passing to my blade to operate the blade. If I will take that first shots, punches in my face and so on, I can be knocked out, so all it's over there. But like this, I'm covering, and then when I have the timing, I can deploy that blade in the fight if it's passing to the blades, of course. So from the back, to see better, I have one pan that is coming on the back, on my neck, covering here the base of the neck, covering with the hand. This is straight, this is coming up. So this is from raising my shoulders up. This is how it's looking from behind, in such a way that is protecting a little bit from back strikes. If I make it, for example, from in front, of course things are not so different, but I want also to see, I was wanted to see the back view, and also now I am putting elbow straight, coming with the other hand, protecting also the part of the chin, of the maxilla, and also from covering the ears, letting a little bit of sight in such a way that I'm seeing what is happening. So with this kind of strike, putting my shoulders, I can take that fast, brutal strikes from the initial moment. Not to stay there, only the initial ones. When it's the distance creating, where it's coming the timing, I am passing to my blade. So you can make also this thing. One, then passing to deploy the blade. One, then passing to deploy the blade. One, pass to the blade. And this you can make also with strike. One, passing strike. One, passing strike. Protect, going, protecting also when I'm going. Immediately I try still to protect a little bit with the parts of my body and striking. One, strike. So guys, another element that I want to discuss in this episode is how we are able to choose the right tactical position. And for example, if you are in a situation in which you were having the time to identify some potential threats, the ambush was not starting, but you cannot leave that location, move yourself, try to check and find a wall and move yourself near that wall. So you are near the wall, you are putting the brakes, I will tell you immediately why. And in this position, you can see whatever movements they are happening in such a way that you will not be catching an ambush and somebody dragging you from behind, choking you and taking down from your wheelchair. So it's very, very important to be able to see what is happening. Another very important thing is to make you understand why we put a brake when we stay on the wall and only when we are at the wall. Because look here, if I have, for example, a target in normal conditions, I will try to use now, I will use my legs only to make you understand what is the idea of it. If I was putting my brakes and somebody is coming from in front, pushing me, or from behind dragging me, is happening this. Look at my wheelchair. So I'm going immediately with the wheelchair back. So immediately I can be pushed and twist and I will be down from the wheelchair. The same it will happen if it's in front. So back front is very easy to put you down. Laterally, if you have the brakes, it's not representing so much danger, but because when you are in an ambush situation, things will be so fast and it will be like a chaos. Of course that this can happen, yeah? Pushing, punching, different kind of things, kicking, they are kicking you and this is the force that is pushing you on the back. But if I talk about the wall, if I am, for example, at a wall, this is not mattering anymore because I put the brakes and even if I am going, let's say, pushing, I have the back, I have the wall there, so I cannot go back and neither somebody that is pushing me from there. But I put the brake because I need this position. I need to be here. Otherwise, if I don't have it and somebody is dragging me, pulling me, and I'm twisting like this, now I'm vulnerable because I can be attacked from in front, lateral, back. So that is a very good strategic position that you can put yourself, of course, if you have the time to identify from the beginning some potential threats. And this can be also a tactic that you can adopt also in your daily activities. Not only then, you are in a place, you are in a location where, I don't know, the rate of criminality or something else is very high and you want to take some measures. Choose these things, even if you are not, even for the persons that they are not in a wheelchair, they can use their legs. It's very important to find a wall behind, and you can see much better the crowd, you can see much better what is happening in front you, analyzing, scanning. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that these teachings will help you improve your skills and be able to protect your life and the ones around you. Train hard and stay safe until next time.